the vehicle we have for these crossbars is a 2022 Kia Sorento SX X-Line. In the box here, we've got the actual crossbars that we were sent to review. Really excited about these. Looking at it and the feel of it, this definitely feels really sturdy. But as far as what comes in the box, I kind of already started putting a couple things together just to get a lay of land, but it comes with both crossbars, each piece. So the parts that clamp on to the crossbars and the crossbars themselves are clearly marked. So there's these stickers which point towards the front of the vehicle. It tells you this is the rear crossbar and the front crossbar. And then you can see here on both of these brackets that they tell you this is the right and this is the left, and an arrow pointing to where it should be facing towards the front of the vehicle. So with the instructions, it's super clear. Pretty simple instructions, but it's super clear on how to put it together. It comes with the keys to unlock these, which is what cover the bolt in here that uses an Allen wrench to tighten down the clamp on the crossbar. And then it comes with a few extra parts, not many, but it does. As far as assembly goes, I've already started putting together these. As you can see, I've made sure the arrows are pointing in the right direction. With the crossbars, it clearly points this out on the instructions that the front part of the bracket, so what should be pointing towards the front of your vehicle, should be the larger part. You can see how it's shaped. So this part where it expands out, it should be pointing towards the front of the vehicle. Where it comes downwards and gets thinner, should be pointing towards the back. So I've already started putting these together. I've tightened this side. I'm going to leave one side loose so that when I get it up on the car, I can adjust it to the length I need it to fit on top of the car. Got to take these off to slide the bracket on. So this is the left one. So left, this is pointing towards the front of the vehicle. Left needs to go like so that the arrow is pointing towards the front of the vehicle. I'm going to tighten one side down like I did. Just going to do both left sides. And then make sure that got the arrow pointing towards the front, like so. And put these on and just make them loose, just enough that they'll stay on and still can slide around. So then you want to loosen the clamp for the bracket. I'm loosening it as far as it'll go so that I know I have enough room to get it up on the car. So I'm going to show how you get the crossbars up on the vehicle. It's pretty self-explanatory after you've assembled the crossbars. Just make sure it does matter which ones go on front and which ones do not. And then we'll kind of just tighten it enough to where it's not fully tight, because you want to be able to shift where it's going on the vehicle. Get this one up. Probably right back there. That should be... Okay, so once you get each clamp on and in the position you want, just make sure to tighten down the clamp. I'd probably go as tight as you can go, obviously not super tight, but you want it on there snug so that this doesn't ever come off. Good to mention, it does come with the two Allen wrenches, one for the clamps, the larger one, and the small one for these underneath side ones. One thing I want to point out with our specific vehicle is you want to make sure if you have a sunroof that you open it to make sure that as it comes up, it's got enough clearance to open. with the crossbars there. Ours specifically didn't have that issue, but something to check. And then there's nothing in the instructions about like how far apart to place them on the vehicle, but I'm doing it about this back one, about where the rear door ends, the top side of it, and then this one, the front one with the front door, about 29 to 30 inches apart is what that would be. So that way the load is kind of centered in the vehicle. It's not too far back and not too far forward. Okay, so now I've switched over to this other side, getting the clamp on. Okay, once you get the clamps on and you've tightened down the clamps and you've got the crossbars at the right length, then you can tighten the underside bolts that secure the clamp onto the crossbar. Like I did, I would recommend tightening one of these underside, these two bolts on one side, getting it to the desired length, and then once you've secured the clamps on both sides, then finish tightening the underside bolts on that last side. I would recommend measuring each side so that each side is an even length. You don't want the crossbars being angled like kind of like this a little bit. Okay, so once you've tightened everything down, you've given it a good pull to say, that's not going anywhere like a lot of guys say. Just get your locks and your key, put it in there, and you're good to go. I did want to mention too, on the crossbars on each side, there are these little, I guess you could call them brackets, where you could hook things onto, like your tie-down straps, your ratchet straps, whatever it is. So that's really cool. That way you don't have to like run it underneath the car, or however you want to tie it down. But these are there for your convenience. But if you're looking for some crossbars for your Kia Sorento, ours is a 2022. It is a specific gear model, so just be aware of that. It's not any Kia Sorento, but ours is the SX X-Line. I would recommend these. I'm really excited about these. Be able to put a kayak on top or wood, whatever it is, since we don't have a truck. But I would highly recommend these.